Welcome to Wisdom Wednesday 111. Ego borrows its power from pure consciousness. Question. I am informed that there is a group of powerfully wealthy elite people designing a plan to control the population of the world. When I hear this, I feel fearful of our future because I also see the evidence of it panning out now. It feels like a war. If this is what we are facing in the next few years, what should I focus on so I don't get lost in the negative impact that this may have over us? Okay. Yeah, an important question considering the events that are happening these days. So you want to know what to focus on while you see the world around you get destructed or get destroyed, or you see your own family and situation get impacted by the situation, which is what you're saying is these elite people, trying to control the population. So the first thing I want to talk about here is, from a yoga perspective, there are two forces that are in operation. We could say there are two realities. In actual fact, these two realities actually dissolve down into only one reality. So one reality is pure consciousness. There's only one pure consciousness in absolutely everything. And that's all there really, really is. But the other reality is called matter, materiality, form. So we're dealing with these two. And so when we come into the field of duality, these two come together and they make what is called an ego. So here we are, we're in a body and we're living in a material world and we have to survive, and then it looks like there's others separate from us and they're different from us. So that's the ego reality. The ego itself is actually not a reality because it's made of two things. So that's why the ego feels false. It's fragile. When you look at an ego acting out, could be your own or somebody else's, or what you call these elite, powerful people trying to control the population, when you look at the ego aspect of their behavior, their ego is acting because they don't know their pure consciousness. They believe they are limited as an ego and a body. So these two forces have a perspective. The pure consciousness says, I am conscious. The matter, the body, says, I am body. I am insentient body. But the I is identified as insentient, and the I is identified as pure consciousness. It's the same I. When these two come together, that's what creates an ego. And the ego says, I am a conscious body. So there's two realities coming together, mixed together, and it's a fragile mix. It's actually full of fear because it knows that it's going to dissolve. That's what ego is. It knows its fate. It doesn't really exist in and of itself. It came together and created something that needs to depend on all kinds of external things in order to keep propping itself up. So the ego has all these behaviors because of its inherent weakness that it is not real. And anything that's not real is going to show up one day, proving itself that it didn't exist in the first place. So what are you to focus on? You're to focus on that part of your ego that is the part that brings power and light and animates yourself. Put your focus on the light part, the conscious part. And the more you put your awareness and focus on the conscious part, you're not going to get affected by others' egos, even your own ego. So it looks like there's, like we're using these powerful, elite, wealthy people taking control over the world. Well, that's what ego wants to do. It's calling a bluff. It's saying, I am powerful. And you got to know that ego does that because it's hiding behind its fear. The fear is what's behind the face of rawr, because it's so fearful. So it tries to overcompensate for its fragility. It's the fact that when it shows its power, its other side is it's going to be disempowered. It doesn't want to believe that. It doesn't want to know that. So you have to know that when you're around others' egos, that they're acting out because they know in deep side that they don't really exist the way it's showing up. So they're overdoing it. So, and it wants you, ego wants you to feel fearful, because then it will have the upper hand. Your job is to not go there, to not buy into it, because if you buy into it, you're going to go down to that level, and you're going to just be fearful just like they are. The only way out is to put your attention on that very distinct aspect of the truth, which is you in essence are pure consciousness. That's that power, that's that light that the ego borrows in order to make it look like it's powerful. So the ego borrows a body, and the ego borrows pure consciousness, and it says, I am a conscious body. But it is neither. Ego is fake. It blows up in thin air. The moment your body, the moment you die, let's say you're about to die, what happens? These two very distinct aspects or realities separate from each other, right? The body is left to the material world and let Mother Nature do its thing to it. But you go back to your source, which is pure consciousness. It's that conscious, sentient, alive aspect that has been there before your body came into existence and is there before your body goes out of existence. You are always present, and that's what you need to focus on. Remember that in your meditations, in all of your walks, in your conversations with people, when you listen to the news. Always remember that all of this can only come into existence or appearance because of pure consciousness. It's the pure consciousness that is giving the light, that is giving the breath, that is giving the awareness, your ability to even know and think. It is pure consciousness behind all of it. That's your focus. And that's the only thing that will keep you free from what you consider the times ahead of us, which might be scary from an ego perspective. Meditate, and meditate on your truth, your background truth. Don't focus on the forms and the changing forms of it all. Focus on the eternal, free, blissful aspect that is always present within you. And that's it for today's Wisdom Wednesday. Do a good job with that one because that will keep you free. Bye.